Hello, welcome back. Glad you guys are back on here today. Just want to work on part two of my painting of a coyote. It's a coyote sunset painting, and I'm going to be working on the wash layer. So basically, I did the drawing. Now I'm going to be doing the wash, and then I do the underpainting, then the overpainting, and then glazing and scumbling. So there's different layers of my painting. Probably like 5 layers by the time I'm completely done. So I'll move the camera over so you can see what I got going on here. I'm going to put it a little lower this time so you can see. Usually I put it a little bit too high. You can't see it good enough. So let me just kind of angle it down a little bit more than I usually do. Bring it a little bit closer too. All right, so what's today? Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Glad you're around here. Okay. All right, so I have my colors prepared beforehand, and I have, let's see, yellow deep, Indian yellow, crimson red, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, lamp black, and raw umber. Raw umber, yeah. I did the drawing. That's what I did yesterday. And let's get the right size brush for this. And I'm going to work on the sky first. Let's see, a little bit bigger brush really. That's all right. I have another brush that's a little bit too, forget about it. All right, I'm going to taking some of my paint thinner / mineral spirits, putting that into this brush. It's a number 6 flat. And I'm going to start in the brightest parts of the sky and sort of go outward like that. The brightest part is going to have yellow. This is kind of like a cad yellow color. This brand is called yellow medium, but it's just basically the same as cad yellow. Oops, set way too far. And yellow, I'm just going to start right around where the sun is going to be eventually. Sort of go around it like that. And I'm not really following any reference for this part. I'm just sort of using kind of imagination. So I'll bring it up to around here maybe. That looks like an egg, doesn't it? All right, now I'm going to go into some Indian yellow, change the flavor of the color just a little bit. Wash a little bit of that off. Take some paint thinner. Go into Indian yellow. Indian yellow is sort of a browner yellow than cad yellow. Has a little bit different flavor to it. So I'm going to go around here and where the edge of that color is, I'm going to sort of go around that and let it blend into it a little. Bring it down on there. Now you can see a little bit of a variety of yellow here. It's sort of blended together slightly. I'll sort of change the shape of it a little. Like that. It's more like that shape. So now I'm going to mix a little bit of red with that, crimson red. I have like a mid-tone between the two. And I'm going to go up to that point, right in the edge of those two colors. Sort of bring that into that a little bit. There. It's going to be like a hill here or something, a mountain. I'm sort of avoiding that a little bit. Okay, take a little bit more paint thinner. Now I'm going to go straight into the crimson red. Now there's no yellow into it at all. Get it mixed into the brush. Bring that into the color that I just put on. So let it blend in a little. And make sort of like a wide feeling to it. Wide like that. Excuse me. Okay, now let's take a little bit more paint thinner. A little bit more paint thinner. Now I'm going to take a little bit of blue. This is ultramarine blue. Mix it with the red, make sort of a purplish color. And go into the edge of those two colors as they come together. Blend a little. This is a purplish color here. Bring it out to like there. Kind of blend together. Wash the brush. Now I'm going to straight blue, ultramarine. Straight ultramarine. Now I just want to fill in the edge of this. The rest of the sky of this painting. Let's get that filled in. Maybe a little bit more over here. All right, so that's the wash of the sky. Let me get the brush clean. Brush completely clean. Just going to bring this up a little. Look at the bottom. Now right along here, it's going to be a little bit wet, so that's why I'm not going to put in this hill quite yet. I'll let that sort of dry for a couple seconds there. That's sort of dry there. There are other areas I want to hit. There's going to be a plane right here that the coyote is sitting on or standing on. Let me kind of put that in. I'll use a little bit of a smaller brush for that. This is a number 2 flat brush. Flat brush, they sort of turn into filberts eventually because they kind of get rounded, but they stay a flat brush for like a few months or so. Okay, so for that I'm going to go into straight. I'm going to go into black and some raw sienna mixed together. Black and raw sienna mixed together. And I'm going to kind of splash it there, didn't I? I'm going to fill in this hill that he's standing on. Coyote. Could be a she. There's a female coyote. Filled in there. Doesn't flow, just add a little bit of paint thinner. See how smooth it should flow like that? It should just fall right off the brush here at this point. Stage. There, so I'm trying to define the top portion of it. Well, we know that's where the coyote is going to stand on right there. I'll make it a little taller here just to get a little bit more character there. Okay, so that dried, even just that minute there, that sort of dried a little bit. So now I can go in back and put in a heel there in the distance. That color, I'm going to go back into that purplish color I had. And add a little bit of black to gray it a little bit. Red, blue, and a little bit of black. Purplish grayish color. A little bit more black. Purplish grayish. Now I'm going to go to this hill here. Fill it in. Just following my pencil lines from my sketch. More paint thinner. Following my pencil lines. Down. Wow. Don't want that to happen. Of course, we're live, so I can't get rid of that. Fill that in. And the distance goes down to around here. That in the distance. I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter, I think. Just kind of take some of the paint off there a little. A bit too dark. Doesn't really matter right now. It's a wash layer anyway, so it doesn't even matter too much anyway. So I'll get that brush clean. Get the brush clean. Now we use a smaller brush. It's a little bit of a point to it. This is a number 0 round. Yeah, I'm going to go into straight raw umber and black. Raw umber is kind of like a grayish brown. It's kind of hard to describe. A dullish brown color, as opposed to like something like this has a reddishness to it. All right, so I'm going to take enough paint thinner so the paint flows to me. I'm going to fill in where the coyote is. Slide in a little bit there. And just fill in his outline. Following my sketch. Following my sketch. Or rubbing it in. Also notice I'm not completely blending it too. I'm sort of leaving these little changes in here. So eventually that kind of shows through. No matter how many layers you put on a painting, eventually something is going to show through at some point. It's almost impossible to make a completely opaque layer in oil painting. And then on these 4 legs here. Keep filling this in. Just kind of silhouetting it at this point. That way. Put that foot right there. Put this thing down so it doesn't move around on me every second. And where his head is here, I'll just get that filled in too. His nose, head right there. That's good. Through his mouth. I'll leave that a little grayer because it's going to be gray eventually anyway. I'm not playing with it too much. See, I'm just kind of put the paint on there. I'm not mixing it up too much. I'm leaving all these little variances of tone. All right, now we got a little bit of green. I kind of forgot to put out the first time. Right. A bit of green, make it colorful. And maybe, let me see, it's going to be maybe a bush right in this area here. A bush right over here. A little bit bluer. There we go. Bush is going to come up to the back of the coyote. Very almost sap green in places. I don't want to tap too much. I don't want to rub too much with this brush because it's kind of a nice brush. When you scrub it, you can ruin the brush. So you don't want to do that too much. So in this area here, a little bit yellow in the background. This is the background behind the coyote. That. And let it kind of come this way a little. So it'll come that way. Now we're going to take a little raw sienna. Kind of make a plane here. A little bit different than the color I have on there. In there, just to break up the colors a little bit. So that's a little bit different there. And put that in there. Let that come down. A little bit of dark. Bring that together there. Okay, so that varied that color a little bit. Varied that color a little. And I'm going to go into some black. Up in this area here is going to be, up in here is going to be some bushes and sticks and stuff that don't have any, light it. Bushes and sticks and stuff that don't have any leaves on them. Just gonna indicate that right for now. I come up to like there, get nice and loose. And some raw sienna. Straight raw sienna. Yeah, fill this area right here. Just like a watercolor. Doing this part. Go around the. Anyway, I keep thinking I keep saying to myself he's a wolf. He's not a wolf, he's a coyote. A lot of loose strokes, don't have to cover everything. And back in here, fill in some of this area. There's gonna be another little tree here sticking up, so I'll indicate that a little. Looseness. To remind myself to be loose. And finally, the mountain in the background here. I forgot to put in. Some rugged terrain there in the background. Like a hill standing up there or something. Way in the distance. A little bit of fan brush, kind of blend this together slightly, even though it's dry. Let's soften that together a little. Blend a little bit of the background there. All right, so that's the wash layer of this painting. Simple as can be. Anybody can do this. Just like painting a watercolor. Loose as possible. The looser the better, really. And so that's where I am. It takes about a day to dry. If it's kind of warm, if it's cool, maybe 2 days. And then the next step would be to start to develop the sky. Start to underpaint the sky and start to develop some clouds and whatnot. But usually in a paint, usually work from furthest away to closer. Most distant and then closer. You don't have to do that all the time, but generally that's how you should approach it. So that's the end of this video, and thanks for watching, and please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps support my channel, and thanks for watching. See you next time.